We're going to take about 3 minutes. Doc, go ahead. Let's talk about, you had clients that ask about yoga. People in the show have asked about yoga. Doc, let's talk about it. What is this? Now all of a sudden in Western culture, it's the new craze. But I mean, damn, yoga been around for thousands of years.
Yes. Well, let's get one thing clear first. Yoga is a practice of black people from the motherland. We share that with everybody in the world that does that. We have a tendency to give Chinese the credit for that, but the Chinese learned it from the Africans that were in China before they got there. That may be a little history that people have to do, but check that out. That's the truth. Secondly,
yes, sir.
The best exercise that I know of for people to do is walking. If you walk and use your arms and do a little move with your arms and walk fast enough to get a little out of breath, that's the best exercise you can do. My suggestion to people that are 40 and over, the second best exercise you can do is yoga. Now, why? Jay made a very important evaluation. When I watched that yoga tape, Brother Keely, I can't do what I see those people do. Hey, well, I've been doing yoga for about 2 or 3 years now, and I can't do what they do either. But I'm getting better. I'm getting more limber, and my body is able to handle things like when I was a child. Now, some of us will watch our children play, and we're like, God, dog, how did my son just twist like that and he ain't hurt?
Right.
If I was to twist my body like that, I'd break apart. And it's because we live such sedentary lives, we sit still so much, that is so abnormal to the body. The body needs to move like we watch those children move. And so that's why I suggest yoga, because when you try to do that pose that yoga instructor can do that you can't do yet, it's going to make something tight. It's going to pull on some things. Now, what's happening with that tightness and that pulling? You are sending more blood flow to that area. What's happening to the area when it gets more blood flow? It's getting more nutrients. It's starting to heal. It's going to get more limber. So yoga is a beautiful exercise because it helps loosen up all those tissues of the body that start to get tight because we sit too much and don't move enough. And the reality is that in my experience, I have watched people with bulging discs. I've seen people with the worst type of arthritis. I'm talking about professional athletes, ex-football players, ex-boxers, ex-basketball players, professional players with horrible arthritis, and yoga was the conduit by which they got to a place where they have no pain anymore. So yes, you cannot do what you see, but get your butt on the floor, get a mat, try it to the best of your ability, and continue doing it on a regular frequency, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I promise everybody that's listening, within a month's time, you will see a significant difference in your pain and your limber ability, and you'll never be the same.
Well, Doc, you just convinced me. I'm going to get a mat today. I'm going to get a mat today, and I'm telling y'all, I'm going to do that monkey donkey pose. I'm going to do the monkey donkey.
We don't even want that visual, Jay. It's cool. Just
here's another thing that I'll do. When I get back tomorrow, because I'll be driving till real late tonight. When I get back tomorrow, I will put in your inbox 2 yoga videos that I suggest, because I want to make it clear. I am not suggesting yoga mixed with Pilates. I'm not suggesting yoga mixed with anything else. I'm talking about old school, slow moving, go from one pose to another yoga, and I will send a couple. I'm not saying that you have to do only the videos that I'm doing, but I found 2 videos that I think are very good, and they could be a foundation that you can use to start, and then as you continue to get better, you can move out into other things. But be careful when you're out there on YouTube or other places, because a lot of times they're mixing yoga up and other things, and my personal opinion is that's no longer yoga.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, Dr. Akili, I think it's important for us to note, and thank you for this reminder about yoga, about stretching, about positions, about using a mat and preparing oneself to get grounded and focused mentally, spiritually, and physically. That's an appropriate lead-in to what we're about to take place with next week. Ramadan comes in. And Ramadan is that period of spiritual renewal for the Muslims and others who participate in it, where we begin to, again, focus on our 5 daily prayers, which involve standing and bowing and prostration and sitting and standing again. And it involves a series of steps. Can you have a word with us just very briefly about how prayer in the appointed way, the actual practice of salah, actually helps the body in a sense of a physical health? Is there a connection there? And if so, what is that connection?
Absolutely, bro. That is an extremely spiritual question, because it moves out of the realm of medicine into spirituality. And let me say this first. For anybody that's listening that may be a Christian, a Catholic, a Hebrew Israelite, a Moor, whatever the case may be, I have Christian friends that practice Ramadan with me every year. And I have some Catholic friends that I practice Lent with them. And so let's get to know each other's faith systems, because there's such beauty in everything. I learned from my Christian friends. I learned from all of my spiritual friends. We don't gangbang with our religions. I am a Muslim, but I love what I learned from my Christian friends. I love what I learned from other friends. We can get away from having a problem with each other by learning more about what each other does, and we'll see the beauty in it. Absolutely. And then maybe we'll get a good example for why our Bloods and our Crips and our gangster disciples and other gang young people, they'll stop gang banging when they see us stop gang banging. So, to your answer, bro, that's the reason why I started with that yoga began with black people. Now, if nobody knows this, black people were the first people on the planet Earth. So everybody came from us, and everything that they do came from us. They may have done a little this or that and put their own culture in it, but everything on this planet Earth came from a dark black person first. So
yes, sir.
The movements of Salat are the basis of some of the poses in yoga. There's no mistake in that. That's not a circumstance. That's a reality.
Wow.
Our poses in our Salat, which is an Arabic word for our prayer poses, are poses that help stretch the back, that help stretch the legs, that help bend the knees. There's not a part of your body that is not being stretched and moved during the Muslim prayer service. When you put your arms out in front of you, you're moving your shoulders. When you bend down, you're moving your back and your hips. When you sit back on your heels, you're stretching your ankles and your knees. When you stand up, you're moving all the legs of the hip and the back and the lower back and the upper back. Everything is being used. Everything is being moved. Everything is being helped to become more limber. Now imagine if those of us who are Muslims, and I'm going to speak for myself at this point, I'm not a perfect Muslim. I'm striving to pray 5 times a day. And so I haven't gotten there. I've done it a few times in my life, but I'm not where I need to be as far as praying as much as I should be. But when I pray, I feel good when I get up from the prayer from a spiritual perspective, but also from a physical perspective.
Right.
Now just imagine if we were doing our prayers 5 times a day, which would result in multiple times where we're moving in and out of these different movements and making the body more limber. It would be just as beautiful as doing yoga as an exercise.
Well, you know what, Doc? I want to thank you just for the insight. I want to thank you for the love. I want to thank you for sharing yourself, man. And good people, everybody, hearts right now. That's energy for Doc. Energy. We also, the hearts also mean prayers for Doc to be safe on that highway, man. It's just a little something, man, that we send to our brother, man. Man, Doc, we love you, man. And we thank you for being, just lighting our candles, man. We thank you for being an inspiration. We thank God that he allowed you to be in our lives. Each and every one of us. There's no reason, once again, that you shouldn't call. Yolanda will tell you. If any of you want to inbox Yolanda and you ask Yolanda, she went through it. So many others on the show have gone through it. If you haven't gone through it, there's a problem. I've gone through it. I was the original one. I went through it big time. Jamil,
and I'm going to get my monies together right now and go through it. And I thank you all. Remember, there is a J Delay show with Brother Jamil discount at Dr. Achilles' office. it is a 10% discount, and that matters when you're counting pennies and measuring dollars. That helps, and we thank you, Dr. Akili, for making your services all the more accessible to us, and we're striving to rise to the bar. You know, dollars don't do everything, Jay. Dollars don't do everything, and I remember having heard detractors say to me, "You and Jay, you must be crazy. Why do you do that show every day? You do the prep for the show. You do the tech tests for the show.
Yep.
You meet with the interns. You do the production meetings. It's like you got a real job and y'all don't get paid nothing. Y'all must be stupid because you got to get paid for what you do."
Yep.
I say that there's a pay, but there's also a reward. And the reward is higher and better than even pay. And of course, when the reward manifests itself, pay may come. But right now, Jay, there's no better place on earth to be than in the presence of a healing word from a helper of God's apostle on earth.